G'day everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. In this second and final video of this two-part series, we're going to take the cabinet simulation that we made in the Mikko plugin using our pink noise generator, and we're going to take it from this to this. So stick around, let's go. Okay, here we are. So in a minute, we're just going to jump over to Reaper. But the purpose of this video is basically to take off from where we left off last time. And that is with the cabinet that we had dialed in. We added an amplifier to it and basically just gave it a quick play and said, yep, okay, that's pretty good. So what we're going to do now is take that sound using the exact same cab one step further, as if I was actually going through a guitar chain, doing it in the virtual world. And then what we're going to do is I've basically put that guitar sound primarily into a track, and we're just going to have a listen to how that all sounds in the track. Now, I think I did say at the end of the last video that I was going to treat it as if it was being recorded in a studio, but I decided against that just because I didn't really want to throw heaps of extra processing on it. What I really wanted to do was just focus in on that cab sound that we dialed in, just to show you that they could almost be mix ready with a few little tweaks from your actual signal chain. So let's get into that. So here we are back again in Reaper. And I've got a few things going on down here now compared to last time. So what I've got is just my guitar input channel here. And this second channel here is just the signal chain at the end of the last video. So basically that just has the THU amp simulator, the Mikko plugin with the cab that we dialed in, and just a bit of a noise gate at the end, which I added in afterwards. Moving right along this channel here, this is now the tweaked sort of channel. And as you can see, I've got a couple of plugins bypassed here, which we'll go through those in just a moment. This guitar chain here is also being sent to this reverb bus and this delay bus as well. So it's all just sort of adding that little bit of vibe and I guess space to the guitar cabinet, which is what you would do if you were playing live or if you were recording in the studio, even if that was applied after the fact. So I'll just grab my guitar and let's just refresh our memories a little bit. So this is where we left off at the end of the last video. So, like I said before, it's not a bad sound. It's a really, really good starting point, and the cab is really what's giving it that I guess realness, in my opinion. So, if I just mute that channel, and then we come across to what I've called the amp after, meaning this is our new processed one. So, if I just dial into the amp here, I've made some very small tweaks to the amplifier. So basically I still haven't done a lot to it. All it is the amp. I've increased the gain just a little bit. I've left the bass where it was. I've pushed the mids just a fraction, the treble just a fraction, and the presence just a fraction as well. So all I'm trying to do is just give a bit more brightness to the sound. And what you might hear when we do a quick A/B is that this sound, it's got a little bit more gain, and it might seem like it's actually got less bass, but that's only because we've bumped the high end stuff. So let's have a quick listen to this. Compare against what we had before. So not quite as much gain in that one, not quite as much note definition in the upper end. So they're the tweaks that I made on the guitar amp there. Now, moving right along, I'm treating this, being a guitar player, as if I was sort of treating it as a pedal board. So what I've got next is a overdrive pedal. And this is a free one that you can pick up from Mercuriall Audio. They're a fantastic, fantastic company doing amp simulation software. So this is basically just a tube screamer emulation, that sort of thing. So let's click him on and see how we take this sound from this to this. So real subtle differences, but what's happening now is the lower end of the guitar signal is tightening up a little bit and it's adding just a little bit more gain again. So you'll notice as far as the gain goes, I'm just increasing these in small segments using different devices to do that. Moving right along, we've got this Greed Smasher pedal, which once again is a free plugin from Mercuriall Audio. This is basically emulating a Mesa Boogie drive pedal. So let's click that on. And now you can hear quite a bit more gain coming in there, and we're starting to get a little bit of that low end back. But even with all this gain, it's still quite articulate. And you can still hear that cab resonance going on there. Right, moving on, next in the chain, and look, in my opinion, this is the secret sauce. It's going to be another Mercuriall Audio free plugin. So this is their Chorus WS1 pedal. And the fact that this is free blows my mind because it basically is going to take this sound. And if you're wearing headphones, be prepared for awe. Here we go. All right, now we're getting there. We're getting somewhere now. So basically we've got a chorus pedal. What it's done is I've got the depth flicked all the way up, the speed all the way down. So we're really not trying to get a chorusing effect. We're just using it for thickening. But this plugin also basically splits the signal quite prominently in the left and right side. And it's giving us that real depth of spread now. So moving right along, what I've done is I have routed this guitar signal or this amp signal into this reverb bus. And I've just got a plate reverb dialed up from Slate Digital, got their Verbsuite classic reverb unit. I've dialed in basically a plate emulation. You can use any reverb that you want that you think sounds good. If we just unmute that one, and now we get a bit of space as well as that sort of chorusy effect. So there's that reverb tail. Starting to sound really nice now. Bearing in mind, once again, like I said at the end of the last video, I'm sort of going for that late 80s rock kind of tone, and I think we're really starting to get there now. So the last thing I've done in this chain, before we get on to the test track, is a delay bus. I've done something a little bit cool here with the delay bus. So basically what I've done is I've sent the guitar amp to the delay bus, nothing special there. But what I've got here is a compressor after the delay unit. And what I'm doing is I've got it side chained to the amp track. And so what that's doing is it's acting like a sort of a ducking delay. So the delays don't start to creep all over the top of what I'm actually playing in the moment. But when I stop playing, then those delay tails gently rise up. So it keeps everything under control, keeps it clean, but still gives that delay signal there. And there's that delay creeping up when we So through all that noodling nonsense, at no point did that delay kind of start to take over the sound. Yet when in between notes and where I was sort of stopping, the delay was creeping in, ducking down, and creeping in, ducking down. So that's that sort of ducking delay sort of effect that we get. I've just flicked over to the track that I made for this cab, just to quickly show you mostly that I haven't really done any extra processing to these guitars. So I have recorded a few layers. I've got the guitar left, guitar right track and a lead guitar track. They are all using the Mikko cab that we configured using the pink noise. I've also got a little clean guitar track running, which you'll hear. I've got a little bit of a crunch track as well. And the idea of the crunch track is just it's panned centrally straight up the middle, just to give a bit of middle substance to the guitar left and guitar right, which are panned, fairly left and fairly right, even though you might see here this is centered. This is just for the intro. This is a really, really lightly distorted track, so barely even any overdrive on that guitar amp at all, and I've blended it in just ever so slightly just to reinforce it a little bit. But as you can see up here in these guitar tracks, I haven't put any extra EQ, any compression, anything like that. They're all just the signal chain that we've just been going through. The only difference is when we come over to this track here, this is my guitar bus track. And I do have a compressor just sort of gluing everything together a little bit. That's the only post-processing that's really done on those guitars, besides from sort of your usual master track or master fader sort of processing as well. So all the drums here are Stephen Slate drums, done a little bit of processing on those, bass, a little bit of processing on that, and then the guitar reverb and lead guitar delay that I discussed just a second ago. All right, so that's basically what I've done to take seemingly this sound that we had at the end last time. Oh, and I've level matched these as well, because the new sound did end up being quite a bit louder and I didn't want our ears to get tricked by loudness. So basically that old sound again, compared against our new dialed in sound. So look, I'm really, really happy with that sound. But like I said before, the proof's in the pudding. So let's see now how it stands up in a mix. I'm going to play this last test track here, and that'll be the end of the video. So just before I go, I just want to say thanks again for watching. If you found this useful at all, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've been doing anything along the same sort of vein, or what tips and tricks do you have for this sort of live guitar setup. I'd love to sort of get everyone's input on that as well. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a listen to the track, and I'll see you on the next one.